Well, we are getting reaction from the White House now to a disturbing post that was put up by Star Wars actor Mark Hamill. White House correspondent Jackie Heinrich live on the North Lawn with the reaction. This was a pretty disturbing post.
Yeah, John, the actor best known for playing Luke Skywalker put out an AI-generated image of President Trump in a grave with the caption that reads, "If only." And it comes just days after yet another attempt on the president's life at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. The suspect in that event has been charged with an attempt to assassinate the president. Hamill writes in his post, he should live long enough to witness his inevitable devastating loss in the midterms, be held accountable for his unprecedented corruption, impeached, convicted, and humiliated for his countless crimes, long enough to realize he'll be disgraced in the history books forevermore. This man, this actor, also recently appeared alongside former President Barack Obama to mark Star Wars Day, as well as the opening of the Obama Presidential Center. Those two pieces have White House officials really upset at not just the content of this post, but the fact that Obama has not denounced it yet. A White House spokesman says to Fox, Barack Hussein Obama just appeared in a video with this deranged lunatic 3 days ago. Now this same person is calling for President Trump to die. Why won't Obama and Democrats condemn this disgusting call to violence? The rapid response page for the White House also called Mark Hamill one sick individual, saying these radical left lunatics just can't help themselves. This kind of rhetoric is exactly what has inspired 3 assassination attempts against our president in 2 years, John.
Yeah, what happened to this idea of toning down the rhetoric? Doesn't seem to have lasted very long. Jackie Heinrich with the update for
Tone down the rhetoric. President Trump has not toned down his attitude since he's taken office. Let's take accountability, Fox News, and listen very clearly, Mr. President, because this is really going to hurt you if you're not listening clearly. Let's see. Rioting in the streets, kidnapping, mass deportations, illegal flights across the border, transporting people to parts unknown, not communicating with family, and zero thought to what might happen if you keep up your Nazi-like rhetoric. Oh, wait a minute. I know what happens. What's been happening since you took office. You have turned a immigration crackdown into a rolled Nazi agenda. Checking people's papers, pulling people over. This is what you are begging for. And then you wonder why actors come out with such heavy rhetoric. Fox News, allow me to remind you of the level of gravity of this situation. 1, Donald Trump is the President of the United States. 2, he has made the law that has created this problem. His executive branch has acted well beyond their means of acting, and this take no quarter attitude that has come out of the War Department is exactly what's going on because of his behavior. So, let's be clear. You're worried about a post on social media when that very same attitude is erupting out of the White House. And they're not chilling their rhetoric. They're not dialing back their tone. They're not taking down what they post. And they're still attacking American people. They're still killing millions over in Iran. And they don't give a shit about what happens to America. So Fox News, if you want to take accountability, count that as accountability. And those reporters sitting at the White House, you probably really should look into what you're reporting. Because President Trump doesn't care what you say or how you react. He doesn't care about America. He cares about his pocketbook. If you haven't been paying attention, he's out to get his money back after the federal government indicted him on over billions of dollars in real estate fraud. What a coincidence. The man who can't stand the media but can sit in the Oval Office and lie his ass off. And what happened to the guy who murdered the person, Nicole Good. What happened to her? What happened to her murderer? Did he face any consequences for murdering her? For shooting her 5 times? No. Did the video ever get told? Did the truth ever get told about the veteran, the VA worker? No. All these things come to light, and when they come to light, you need to report them, but you're not. You're doing what Fox News or what every news agency does, and covering up the truth. This is the result of his actions. His actions have created this unfriendly environment, and if he wants it to change, he needs to change his attitude and stop attacking the American people. He needs to stop before it's too late. The manifestation of the truth is that you, Mr. President, and Fox News and any other media agency who's covering you needs to look at the reality of the situation that you have created. Your executive orders, your demonstration of going to war and not having a War Powers Act declared by Congress, your financial books, because I know for a fact that you're paying Mike Johnson not to say anything that would incriminate him or put him on record. So I know that. I don't need to see that. And I know that you're paying the Department of War Secretary, Pete Hegseth, to do your dirty work. I know that you're paying the Homeland Security Secretary something. And I don't even need to guess at what you're doing, because I know what you're doing. You're trying to shift the blame from you to somebody else instead of taking accountability. So, Fox News, if the rhetoric needs to be toned down, then the man who needs to tone it down is Donald Trump himself. And he needs to rethink about what he says on TV, how he goes after the people, how he distorts the truth, and how the truth gets out. And maybe he needs to come out and answer some questions. Instead of being a president, he needs to be a human being. Because, I'm sorry, but what is happening is his fault. Nobody else can be blamed for what he does. So he can report the truth. Report exactly why it's happening. Give them the whole fact. Don't take half the facts. So, Trump, Corey Lewandowski, all of them in the White House need to come to realize that the day of reckoning is before them. I don't agree with threatened death. I don't agree with it. But at the same time, I also don't agree with mass kidnapping, murder as a way to solve a situation. So toning it down is not what's wrong. The tone has been at high since Donald Trump took office, since he decided to try and impeach the former president, Biden, and since he's tried to racially profile all of America with his attitude, and it continues to work because the Congress, the Senate, the Department of Justice, the Supreme Court don't want to stop him because they're getting paid big money to do exactly what they're doing, which is nothing. So stop lying and start telling the truth, you ignorant slobs.